What's good, everybody? It's your boy JFK, and I'm back again with another episode of Heat and 5 reviews and recaps brought to you by HoopSpaces, where you can find on Amazon Radio every Monday through Friday starting at 10 a.m. Listen, man, there's a lot to talk about, but hey, we have won a good game against Philly over in Philly, but look, they came down here and they gave us a tough L without Joel Embiid, I should say. And they went ahead and won that game 119-96. And it was a little bit tough because we started to figure certain things out, but it just kind of went to craps after that. But the next game that we saw was going to be against the Knicks, and that was one game I did not want to lose for the season because I already knew that's just a team I didn't want to lose to. But no, not my first on my list, but it's just one of those teams. But we did take that L off of Julius Randle last second shot at the 3-point. 122-120. Man, I didn't think he was going to make it, to be honest with you, but shouts out to Julius. He has stepped his game up this year. He definitely deserves all the praise that he gets. And yeah, he made that shot, so I can't complain, but there was a lot of goods coming from there. Besides Julius Randle's 43 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists, listen, we had Jimmy going for 33, 8 and 5, and we had Hero going for 29, 8 and 6. And there's a lot to talk about. Tyler Hero should have got traded, this and that, and Tyler Hero's an untouchable during the trade deadline. I think he wasn't untouchable. We got to understand Tyler Hero is actually doing what he needs to do, coming in as a starter and progressing along with Bam. So I'm really liking how those two are faring out this season. Even though it's kind of been rough, I wouldn't put it on them per se. They actually been showing a lot more than we expected. Even though they need to be a lot more consistent with it, it's okay. I'll take it for what it is. But we did shoot 48% from the 3-point. We're going for 12 for 25. We did win painting the point, which we won 50-52. And right now, Bam is sitting at top 10 in fourth quarter points. And he's actually shooting at the highest percentage when it comes to that without shooting 3 points. So there's a lot of good things. And the 48% from 3, I'll definitely take it because that's something that we definitely needed to improve on is our offense. We're towards the bottom half of the league in our offense. I think we were kind of like dead last, if I'm not mistaken. So just showing that we can at least shoot, it's giving us a little bit more continuity within ourselves so we can make that push towards the playoff. The next game that we did see was on Saturday. It was against Atlanta, and man, there's a lot of talk that since we lost against the Knicks, we might as well lose against Atlanta. But I don't think that was happening. We were definitely one game in front of Atlanta, and that's a game we definitely needed to win. And we did come out with the win, 117-109, pretty nice. And the good thing about it is our defense is working really, really good. DeJounte Murray and Trae Young, they've been averaging about at least 48 points throughout the whole season. So if you really look at it, that's probably about 22 between them, give or take. But that night we held them to only 18 points and 8 points coming for Trae Young. So they had a couple assists, but to hold them out on the points wise, that definitely helped us. And we did our thing against Okongwu and Clint Capella because Cody Zeller had a game, 13 points, 2 rebounds, and 0 assists. I'll take that because that's something that we definitely needed off the bench is size, especially when Bam is going down to sit down. And we had Bam going for 30 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists. He had a really, really great game. And the thing about Bam and Jimmy is that usually they split their shots. Like, for instance, if Jimmy has 14 shots a game, Bam probably has 9. Vice versa, if Bam has like about 14, Jimmy has about 8, and their points are very consistent when it comes to that. They average around 26 to 30 points when they're shooting at high volume, and they average around 15 to 22 points when they're shooting at a lower volume. But the free throw percentage is there, and they are making their free throws, so that is good to see. But moving forward, we did shoot 50% from the field goal, but we only shot 38 from the 3-point. So, coming from a 48% from the 3-point last game against the Knicks and shooting 37, we needed to find a way to make that a little bit more consistent because the 50% field goal, I would take that any day. And that kind of alludes to what I was talking about Bam being in the top 10 in fourth quarter points, especially being the highest one in percentage shooting. And he's literally taking all his shots from in the paint. So it really does say a lot about a 6'9" center who kind of got drafted to play the 4th position. But moving forward, we did play on Monday against Atlanta. We did come out with that win, 130 to 128. We had a couple clutch shots from Tyler Hero and Caleb Martin, and a very, very important steal from Jimmy to go ahead and help us win that game. I mean, Atlanta was leading the whole game. And, that fourth quarter, it really does come down to that. And I think that's going to be something that you see in the playoffs. But, they definitely Jimmy went 26, 9 and 9. Depot, man, our bench went off this game. I'm so happy about it. And Max Strus did get the start, but really, because Kevin Love was out, and I really think Max Strus got the start just because we needed to have that presence coming off the bench. And I think we did see that with Victor Oladipo. He had 22 for 2 and 3. And then we had Caleb Martin for 21, 4 and 2. So, like, those Caleb Martin points really came at crucial times. And I think he really is, overachieving what he expected to be, because remember, his brother was the one that was starting when he was on Charlotte, and he was the one coming off the bench, and he wasn't even coming off the bench. He wasn't even getting minutes like that, but it just shows the development and what we're willing to do with these players and give them a shot. But, for the last 3 games, we have shot at a 46% from the 3-point, which is really, really good compared to what we've been doing. So I like our little balance we had the last 3 games, except for the 38% against the Knicks. I'm pretty sure if we had like a 40, we would at least won the game. If we had shot one more 3, we would have won the game for sure. Despite Julius Randle shooting that last second shot. But we are probably around, the 7th. Right now, we're 2 games behind. I think it's the Nets, and 2.5 games in front of Atlanta for the 8th position. And to be honest with you, I think we do make that cut. Formidable teams to go ahead and make it in the playoffs in the East. Now, like I said, my expectation is to make it to the first round. I don't know what's going to happen. I really hope we can win our first round. I mean, but it's kind of a long shot just despite of the season that we're having. But I think with the additions, we're building upon our shot making and our shot creating, and just adding on to more length and size so we can go ahead and stop second chance points and go ahead and get those rebounds, blocks. And we're already pretty good at steals, so there's a lot of things that we're doing pretty good. But we do play tomorrow night. I got to check the schedule. I forgot what it was. It came to a blank for me, but that's perfectly fine. And I know we have a couple of hard games coming up, but it's okay. As long as we're pretty consistent with it, then I'm pretty sure we're going to be all right. But Kyle Lowry he was expected to come back in the beginning of March, but it might be pushed back to a little bit. And I think that's perfectly fine, save himself, because I think Kyle Lowry is one of those that can just wake up out of bed and just play ball. Like, his IQ is there, and I think that's what we're going to need for the playoff. It's not more so of his shot creating or his defense, but more of his IQ to maybe go ahead and set offensive fouls for the other team to go ahead and get charges and stuff. So, that wraps up Heat in 5 reviews and recaps, brought to you by HoopSpaces, that you can catch on Amazon AMP every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. I almost said Thursday. And sometimes on Saturday. There was a Saturday special just in case if there's any big news or so much news that we need to go over. Then we definitely wouldn't open up on the Saturday. But just want to give a shout out to HoopSpaces Chris, and then also JP, the franchise. His YouTube pages, go ahead and check him out and subscribe. But I want to thank you guys again. And yeah, I'll see you next time for Heat in 5.